you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone remain standing for 1 minute. Can I have a moment of silence for Police Officer Danny Coleman from the city and all Chicago police officers due to the recent suicides and all the stress that they're under daily. So, Danny Golden was a St. Rita graduate. He was a military veteran, proudly served his country. A Chicago police officer where he followed his father Pat's footsteps and served and protected. Danny comes from an extended family of public servants, and I personally know his aunts, uncles on both sides. I know his grandfather on one side. My oldest son graduated from grammar school with his younger brother Tommy. Danny was doing what Danny does. He was a peacemaker. He was breaking up an altercation where he was shot in the back. He was paralyzed from the waist down. He has a long journey ahead. A GoFundMe account has been set up, and Chicago Patrolman's president also has an account for him. If you have the opportunity to donate or want to donate, I would suggest the Patrolman's Fund because he gets 100% of it, where GoFundMe takes a cut. But I think did we put something on the website already? If you check the Tinley Park website, it comes from a fabulous family, a long list of public servants. But I also want to include Chicago police officers that committed suicide recently, one of them here in Tinley Park. Unfortunately, these people saw no way out. They had no days off. They had no support whatsoever. May the current CPD officers and all first responders realize that if they need help, to please seek it. This needs to end. So now I'd like to have a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Hang on before you, and I'll call you one at a time. So I'll call you first as well. Or after I do it. Okay?
Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Brennan?
Present.
Trustee Galante?
Here.
Trustee Mahoney?
Present.
Trustee Mueller?
Here.
Trustee Sullivan?
Here.
President Klotz?
Present. And baby's present. Item number 1, I'd like to ask the board to consider approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 2, I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting held on June 21st, 2022.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 3, receive presentation of the Tinley Park Business Spotlight, AmeriCare Behavioral Health Care Center for Children and Adolescents. Madam Clerk, can you please read number 2? And Dr. Higgins, would you mind coming up to the mic? Go ahead, Nance.
Sorry.
One second.
On the wrong page. One sec. The AmeriCare Behavioral Health Care Center for Children and Adolescents offers outpatient, partial day, and inpatient care, and is uniquely designed to treat behavioral health challenges in a patient-focused, collaborative environment that empowers every child to achieve their highest potential. We are pleased to welcome Dr. Chris Higgins from AmeriCare Health Group. Excuse me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for your time. We are there. We've been at this for a while. I think we all know anyone who works with children and adolescents who struggle with thoughts of suicide, harm, and are just not safe, do not have a place in our community for appropriate care. And we are going to open a place for them so that they're no longer in harm's way. AmeriCare will be a 30-bed inpatient unit surrounded by the entire continuum of care. We will be opening as soon as we get through the state inspections. The building is complete, construction is finished. We have submitted all our forms. We're waiting for the state to finish that up. I just want to thank the mayor. I want to thank the city, your complete administration, the fire department, the police department. You guys have been amazing in helping us pull this off. Definitely, to help these kids, it definitely takes a village, and you guys have a great one, and we're proud to be a part of this. And again, thank you guys very much. If you have any questions, please feel free.
Thank you, Dr. Higgins. Appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks.
Any questions from the board?
No, thank you.
Thank you. We're getting it going as soon as we can. It should be a month, 6 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Higgins. Item number 4, Trustee Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Received presentation of recognition award from the Illinois section of the American Water Works Association for the Water Ambassador Program. The Illinois section of American
Dennis.
Water.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thank you. The Illinois section of American Water Works Association will present the inaugural Water Ambassador Gold Level Award to the Village of Tinley Park. The Water Ambassador Program is an initiative created to increase public perception, knowledge, and consumer education on the water industry. This is a significant accomplishment for the Village of Tinley Park Village Board and the Public Works Department. Consider the presentation from Illinois section of the American Water Works Association for the Water Ambassador Program recognition.
Thank you, Dennis. Who's going to present it, John?
We're here, You want us to stand over here, John? Stand here? My voice is already loud enough. Okay, so my name is Randy Lusk. I am the past chair for the Illinois section AWWA. I'm going to give you a little brief history real quick on AWWA, the section, and then I'll turn it over to Dave behind me. So AWWA is the American Water Works Association, which was mentioned by Mr. Mahoney, and it was founded in 1881, and it is the largest organization made up of water supply professionals in the entire world. It's made up of 43 sections throughout North America, with membership over 50,000 people. The Illinois section, which is what we're here representing, is ranked number 4 out of the 43, which is a very big deal for us. We have over 2,500 members. And our mission of the section is to provide the resources for the advocacy of safe and sustainable drinking water through membership, mentoring, and public awareness. So part of this award is about public awareness on what the Public Works Utility Department is giving to their board, to the members, and to the public. So Dave behind me will give you a little brief description of the award, and then we'd like to hand the award to John and his crew.
Hello, my name's Dave Vavrick. I am the trustee at large for the Illinois section American Water Works. A few quick bullet points on the Water Ambassador Award. It is a program, it's an initiative created to elevate public perception, knowledge, and consumer education of the water industry. The program aims to accomplish these goals by presenting a new communication platform of educational and promotional content in a manner that is relevant, engaging, and consistent among all the participants. The program is open to public and private water utilities, and it runs annually, calendar year from January to December. So with that, we'd like to present the award.
Good boy, John.
You want to do it up front?
Get baby blue up there.
I am short, I'm sorry. I didn't say mommy. So this you don't get. This you want. Do I smell it? Somebody.
If we ever remodel this place, we should have just an area for pictures.
Thank you very much.
You saw that too?
Mayor, if I could add one final thing to that
Yes, sir.
item. I want to give a lot of credit to Joe Fitzpatrick and Ken Howard. You know, they brought this concept to my desk and wanted to take on the hefty endeavor of, you know, meeting all of the requirements to receive the Gold Award. And I think, you know, those two guys and their team of, you know, the Water Department have done a great job since they've started working at their capacity. So I do want to thank them specifically for the award we just received.
Thank you, John.
Awesome, thank you.
Any comments from the board? It's not necessary, but I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll for it.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 5, I'd like to ask the board to consider a proclamation recognizing Patricia Mack's dedication to St. Julie Billiard Parish.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
second it.
Thank you. Patricia Mack's dedication to the parish and faith formation of the children of St. Julie Billiard. Whereas on July 19, 2022, Patricia, resident of Tinley Park and Director of Religious Education at St. Julie in Tinley Park, was recognized for her 48 years of unwavering dedication. And whereas her dedication to the formation of youth in our village has in that time reached over 30,000 students and their families and contributed tremendously to the spirituality, vitality, and outreach contributions of our community. And whereas Patricia was the first employee hired by the founding pastor, Father William Devine, in 1974, and has held that position through many hardships and profound joys in the world. In her time of ministry, there have been 5 popes, 4 cardinals, 5 pastors, 9 presidents, and 5 mayors, and the Chicago White Sox and the Cubs each have won the World Series, overcoming their respective droughts. Pat's ministry has remained steadfast throughout all of this. Notice I didn't mention the Bears in there. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the President and the Board of Trustees and the Clerk of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, that Patricia be celebrated for her accomplishments, resolve in positive and lasting impact on our community. Approve this 19th day of July 2022, signed by myself, Michael Glotz, Village President, and Nancy O'Connor, Village Clerk. Patricia, are you here?
There she is.
You want to come up front first, Patricia? We'll take a photo with the clerk and I, and then if you could say a couple words.
I was going to say.
Father, maybe you should get in there.
It's up to you. You can say it from here, you can say it from the microphone, wherever.
I'll try to be loud. I just wrote a couple of things down so that because I knew I'd get a little nervous. First of all, I want to say I have been richly blessed, way beyond words. recognition belongs to the 5 good pastors with whom I have shared ministry over the years, as well as the priest associates, dedicated deacons, parish staff, and our outstanding, generous parishioners at St. Julie, who over the years have volunteered to share their faith and great example of true goodness with young people of our faith community. For each of them, I am filled with gratitude and wish them continued fullness of life and God's grace. And needless to say, I am grateful to Mayor Glotz and the village for all you've done for us too. The police department, the fire department have always been very, very gracious, and we thank you. And I'm just overwhelmed. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia. And just for the record, this year, they will not have a dunk tank at St. Julie picnic. Would you like to let everyone know about the picnic coming up?
August 6th, Taste of St. Julie's, 4 o'clock family activities, then 4:30 mass, followed by all of the festivities. Yes, there is no dunk tank this year.
Which was it was a lot of fun last year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Guante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you for your service, Patricia. You guys could leave if you like. We'll wait for you in your big crowd.
Wow,
Wow.
a lot of people.
Congratulations.
The other door's open.
Item number 6. I'd like to ask the board to consider the request from the National Association of Town Watch to proclaim Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022, as the 39th Annual National Night Out in the Village of Tinley Park.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch annually sponsors a nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program entitled National Night Out on the first Tuesday in August. And whereas the 39th Annual National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the Village of Tinley Park to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts and to assist the Tinley Park Police Department in said efforts. And whereas it is essential that all citizens of Tinley Park be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and their potential impact on reducing drugs, crime, and violence in the village. And whereas police community partnerships, neighborhood safety efforts, civic awareness, and community cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out program. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the presidents, the clerk, and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, that the first Tuesday in August, August 2nd, 2022, be designated as the National Night Out in the Village of Tinley Park. Approved this 19th day of July 22nd by myself, Michael Glotz, Village President, and Nancy O'Connor, Village Clerk. Dinah, would you like to come up to the front?
I've got a little bit of laryngitis. I worked the last job on Saturday and Sunday at the Black Party promoting National Night Out. National Night Out is Tuesday, August 2nd, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. This is my 16th year of coordinating this event. So it started as a very small event with less than 1,000 people. Now it can range anywhere from 5,000 to 9,000 people. Proud to say Tinley Park, the village of Tinley Park, has been national night out award winners for the past 15 years. So it's an awesome award. We're in the category of 50,000 to 99,999. So there's a lot of villages and cities in that same classification. So the last few years, we have beat Orland Park. They have also won, but we've been a few steps ahead of Orland Park. So I'm pretty proud. And my husband is a retired officer from Orland Park, and Kevin used to coordinate Orland Park's National Night Out. So he's been happily retired, and his wonderful wife has carried on that tradition. So please, please, please come to National Night Out. It is police departments, law enforcement agencies, fire department, public works, the ambulance, we have businesses, churches, organizations. It's a really nice evening. It's all family friendly. We have David Fleming, the magician. He's a juggler. We have a DJ. So I wrote my email every month since February. I've been writing emails to all the people that have been with us for years and years and years. And in February, it was on 2/2/22. So I wrote, in 6 months, it will be, because it was a cold and snowy day, so I said it'll be a hot and sunny day. So please come to National Night Out. Our officers here really need to be acknowledged for all the things that they do. Thank you very much.
Matt, anything you want to add?
I just want to thank Dinah again. She does a fantastic job. We had close to 10,000 people last year. I really appreciate the fact that she moved the village forward so that everyone can attend and stay there the whole time. There's all kinds of activities. Like she said, the DEA helicopter will be there. The heroes, the firemen will be there, and everyone will be playing on their truck instead of our cars. But it's just
Thanks, Chief. Madam Clerk, you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 7. I'd like to ask the board to please consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-083, declaring August 7th through August 13th, 2022 as Municipal Treasurers Week in the Village of Tinley Park. Oh, I'm sorry. Trustee Sullivan.
Oh, my God.
There's so many of them in a row, sorry.
You're doing a fine job.
So is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
My idea.
Go ahead, Colleen, sorry.
Consider declaring August 7th through August 14th, 2022 Municipal Treasurers Week, and extend appreciation to the members of our Finance Department and all the municipal treasurers for the vital services they perform and their outstanding dedication to the communities they represent. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Colleen. Any questions from the board?
I appreciate Colleen giving them the full 7 days. You were only going to give them 6, so good work,
Hey.
Colleen.
Budget crisis.
I gotta read-
Any comments, what?
No.
Any comments from the board? Madam Clerk, you call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
The motion passes, thank you. Item number 8, Trustee Mahoney.
Thank you. Please consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-082, recognizing Julie Peterson, Rebecca Sierra, and Coach Alan Lorenzen on their national achievement in the hydronesteria competition.
Your motion?
I'll make the motion.
I will second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
All right, thank you. Illinois section of the American Water Works Association hosts an annual conference, WaterCon, that brings together water delivery utility operators and industry suppliers to share statewide information and host competitors, with one of them being known as hydrant hysteria. This fast-paced competition is where participants will be timed to assemble a completely dismantled fire hydrant. With a final time of 2 hours and 39 minutes, the Tinley Park women's team, named the Village Vixens, were named the state champions on March 23rd, 2022, at the Illinois State AWWA Championship in Springfield, Illinois. They were awarded the fastest Illinois women's time. They were advanced to be the first ever team from Tinley Park to complete nationally at the AWWA's annual conference and exposition to compete for the national championship in San Antonio, Texas. They competed against 8 other women's teams from across the nation with a final time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 9 seconds. The Tinley Park's women team were named the second place national women's champions on June 15th, 2022, bringing home the first ever national trophy for the hydrant hysteria to Tinley Park, Illinois. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Dennis.
I think that was 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry
I
about
watched
that.
them.
Me too.
I was
Big
at work
difference
watching
there.
the
I
live video, so
apologize.
that's all right.
They would not have won with that time.
Yeah.
They would have been like.
Any comments from the
Yes.
board?
I know the way to.
Congratulations.
Where's Big Al? There he is. You guys want to come up?
Glad you caught the 2 hour, wasn't it? Good time.
I kept watching the live videos. John
Oh, yeah,
like, posted
we did.
it.
Yes, he did.
Would post the video, so.
All right, Dennis.
But the way that it's written, I can see why. You know. They can drop that.
Otherwise, they'll just pop off.
Yeah.
Might just pop.
How would you write that? 2 minutes.
30 minutes.
2 minutes and 12 seconds. This is 9/10 of a second?
It says right, how did you read it?
Good, yeah, carefully.
Get the trophy.
Travel around with like the stamp cup.
Yeah.
Let's see it. It's like I need a break. I had one.
It's okay.
No, he's.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante? Yes. Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next, we have item number 9, Trustee Brennan.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like the board to consider conducting a swearing-in ceremony for Police Sergeant Brian Wood. Madam Clerk?
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Brian Wood,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of police sergeant according to the best of my ability.
of police sergeant, sorry,
According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
character
my character
to the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others
I will have the courage to hold myself and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution,
I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve.
Congratulations.
Wife with picture?
I'm bringing
How about a wife? The wife, the baby? Oh. Another one, yeah.
He was on duty, so they were getting him out of here.
Everyone gave me a quick bio. Alex just says, I joined the Tinley Park Police Department after serving as an officer with the Chicago Police Department. So now he's gonna tell us a little bit more about himself.
1 second. Any comments from the board?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll?
You can do it from there?
Because I got a mark. I can mark for you. Actually,
I don't know if there's no motion.
I'll make a motion.
we don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually no motions are needed. He just, we just need to move on.
But this is a separate item.
10.
Okay. All right.
Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Bill, item 10.
Item number 10, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like the board to consider conducting a swearing-in ceremony for police officers Roberto Frias, Michael Jones, Jake Kelly, Alex Neufeld, and Jake Thompson.
We're gonna have Alexander Neufeld here first because he's on duty. I'll read his bio real quick, but it's one sentence. Joined the Tinley Park Police Department after serving as a police officer with the Chicago Police Department. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I came from Chicago 4 years ago. Right out of college, I went to St. Xavier, played baseball there. Grew up in Tinley Park, so it's nice to be back. What else you got?
A little bit more than what you gave us before.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear
Solemnly
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
swear to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge
so faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer according
the duties of police officer
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Now, my honor,
No matter
I will never betray my badge,
my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
the public trust.
I will always have the courage
I will always have the courage
to hold myself and others
to
accountable
hold myself and others accountable
for our actions.
for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution
I will uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve.
Congratulations. Get some pictures, okay?
Brought my-
Come on up. I'll be the first one. Let them take pictures first. Okay, well, I want the other chiefs in there too.
Yeah, why don't you do a family one and then we'll.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. You wanna explain what everybody is?
Oh, my girlfriend Nicole, mom Shelley, stepdad John.
state your name.
I, Roberto Frias,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of police officer according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
of police officer to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Roberto Rodriguez Frias came to us from the Worth Police Department where he served for 5 years. He attended Lakeland University where he earned his MBA and Bachelor's of Science in Marketing. He's married to his wife Katie, his one young child, and a baby on the way. Congratulations. On my honor,
On my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution,
I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Anything small?
This is my wife Katie. This is my brother Joel, who's also an officer at the Worth Police Department. My mother Violet. My father Roberto Frias. He was retired from Oak Forest Police Department as of last year. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pictures with everybody.
White church.
Thank you all for your time today.
You did. No peanut butter, okay, those are good ones. Absolutely.
I state your name.
I, Jake Kelly,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances for the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of police officer
of police officer
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Jake served in the United States Marine Corps for 4 years and worked as a public safety officer at Christ Medical Center for 3 years. He then served as an officer with the Midlothian Police Department. Jake is married to his wife Melissa and has 2 young children. On my honor,
On my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will always have the courage
I will always have the courage
to hold myself and others accountable
to hold myself and others accountable
for our actions.
for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution,
I always uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, he really is. Tell his dad was a Marine. Well, here, Mike.
Andy.
There we go. Call him.
A couple more with everybody. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Got it. Thank you very much.
Michael Jones.
Bye-bye.
It's like being the second funniest in the room.
I'll succumb to him, that's okay. He's cuter, too. Not yet. So that day is coming. That day is coming, I'm sure.
I state your name. You solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
And I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Michael joins the Tinley Park Police Department with a total of 10 years' experience between two other agencies. Lansing, Calumet City. He received a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies from Delaware State University and an associate degree in criminal justice from South Suburban College. During his tenure as an officer, he has received several letters of commendation and honorable mention awards for work performed. He has received 2 life-saving awards as an officer, one of which was part of a group effort. Michael was raised in a single-parent household in the south suburbs of Chicago and played sports throughout the school year. He was recently married to his wife Angie and is residing in Tinley Park. Raise your right hand. On my honor, I will never betray my badge,
I will not betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
for the public trust.
I always have the courage to hold myself and others
I was ever courage to uphold myself and others,
accountable for our actions.
accountable for my actions.
I always uphold the Constitution,
I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency that I serve.
Congratulations.
Thanks for listening.
Fresh brew. I brewed mine last week. It's nice and cold. Yep.
I state your name. You solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
the ordinances of the Village of Tinley Park,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Department for 4 years. He graduated from Wabash College. He played college football there. Jake is engaged to his fiancee Rachel and is planning a wedding later this year. Raise your right hand. On my honor,
On my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
for the public trust.
or the public trust.
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for my actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution,
I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve.
I've been telling them that for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you very much.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll for item 10?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 11. I'd like to ask the board to consider appointing Janet Speck to the position of Police Clerk Matron.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Janet has been a part-time clerk matron with the Tinley Park Police Department for 2.5 years. She is skilled in all job phases and demonstrates competent performance. Janet strives to strengthen and refine her professional effectiveness, is judicious in carrying out assignments without direction, is a self-starter. She has a positive attitude and interacts well with her peers, subordinates, and supervisors. Janet is recommended for promotion to the full-time position. I'd like to ask the board to please consider appointing Janet Schmeckpepper to the position of Police Clerk Matron effective July 20th, 2022. Any question or comments from the board? Janet, would you like to say anything? You can bring Greg up there with you.
I just want to say thank you to the Chief Walsh and to Deputy Chief Tilton and to Commander Tenza for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations, Janet. Next, item number 12. May I have a motion to consider approval of the following consent agenda items?
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Consent agenda items have been publicly posted and available for review according to the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Anyone from the board like any of these items removed from the consent agenda?
I'd like to have B removed.
B?
B.
Okay. Let the record reflect. Trustee Galante would like to remove item B. So we're going to call for a roll on everything except B,
Unless
correct?
there's anything else that anybody wants to take off,
Anything else the board would like to remove?
then we, on the rest.
Okay. Everyone good?
Yep.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. So call that item 12B, Paul?
Yes, and then, so let's read it, and then we'll have a motion, and then we can have discussion.
Perfect. So I'd like to ask the board to consider approving, or consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-079, authorizing a professional service agreement between the Village of Tinley Park and Roy Group LLC, lobbyist at a cost of $3,500 per month.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. So now you want to discuss it?
Discussion.
Any comments from the board?
I mean, I asked this to be removed. I think I said the same thing last time this came up. I disagree that we should be paying the lobbyist. I disagree that we don't have any say. When I try to understand how we get any direction to him, that's never been anything I've been part of. So I just disagree with this spending, so I'm asking it to be removed so I can vote no.
Nothing that you've been a part of. Can you explain that further?
I believe I've asked for, when do we have meetings to discuss what do we have the lobbyists work on? What kind of projects does he work on? I see a lot of the mental health property, which I think we all know in the last couple of years hasn't had a lot of activity, but I don't see us having any meetings to discuss how do we direct this lobbyist. We're paying $3,500 a month. I believe as a board, we should be directing him.
Thank you, Diane. I'll go back and look for last year's approval of this lobbyist. This is the same question, if I recall, Diane, you said the same thing, almost probably identically as last year. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Dave Niemeyer told you that this isn't something that the board discusses. If a particular elected official would like the lobbyist to work on something or look into something, that they are to contact, at the time, Dave Niemeyer, the village manager, and then he will add that to the list for the lobbyist to look into or work on or answer or get answers to whatever questions, whatever elected official would like. Have you ever contacted the manager with specific items you'd want him to work on?
Actually, I did. I
Okay.
did ask Dave Niemeyer when we could have a sit-down and start discussing maybe some other avenues of looking at with the mental health property, I believe was one of them, but I'm voting no. I'm
The
just
mental
trying
health
to
center's been-
communicate it. I'm not sure why.
Mental health center's been discussed, I mean,
I mean,
nonstop. So nothing, no development or anything in particular as far as legislation that you requested them to work on, so
I
thank you.
asked us
Madam
how
Clerk,
we
can you call the roll?
Okay.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
No.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 13. I'd like to ask the board to consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-054, amending Title 11, Chapter 112, Section 112.22 of the Tinley Park Municipal Code, addition of one Class B liquor license, Amazon Fresh, 16017 South Harlem Avenue. Should let you read that one, Mike.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. I thought Mike would second it. The petitioner, Amazon Retail LLC, has approached the mayor's office seeking a Class B license for a new Amazon Fresh store located at 16017 South Harlem Avenue. Amazon Fresh will be a grocery store, the primary purpose of which will be to sell groceries, including fresh produce, meat, dairy items, and prepared foods, household goods, and general merchandise, as well as packaged liquor, beer, wine, and spirits. The proposed hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. from Sunday to Saturday. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole held prior to this meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight. Is there any questions from the board?
I have but one. Are they going to be selling the packaged liquors at 7 in the morning?
There, you want to answer that, Paul?
Their code license,
Their hours are 7 to
I think
10.
we just restrict on Sunday to
right,
10 a.m., I think.
right.
Noon.
Whatever the code hours are, I'll have to look it up, though, if you want me to look it
Okay.
up. I can get back to you with that answer. I don't have that one right in front of me, but.
All right, just wondered. Thank you.
Anyone from the public have any questions? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next, we have item number 14. Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-058, amending Title 7, Chapter 74 of the Village of Tinley Park Municipal Code to include residential permit parking at 17344 Oak Park Avenue.
Is there a second?
Motion?
I did.
He had made a motion, just need a second.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Colleen. You lost it. Good job, Dennis. Go ahead, Mike.
The village entered into a parking lease agreement, 2020-R-096, which granted the property owner of 17344 Oak Park Avenue, Tinley Park, Illinois, to utilize 3 parking stalls within the public safety parking lot solely for residential tenants. This ordinance will codify the exclusive use of the parking stalls and allow the police department enforcement authority. This item was discussed at the committee of the whole held prior to this meeting, and this ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Next, we have item number 15. Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider ordinance 2022-0-059, granting a variation to permit a corner fence in a secondary front yard for property located at 17251 Auckland Avenue.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, Mark Murphy, is seeking a variation from the zoning ordinance to permit a 5-foot high, open-style fence to encroach 40 feet into the required secondary front yard of the property located in the R1 single-family zoning district. Single-family residential zoning district. Plan Commission held a public hearing on June 16, 2022, and voted 2-5, recommending denial of the requested variation in accordance with the plans and findings of fact in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for first read tonight.
Thank you. Any questions from the board first?
Comment from the board?
Whatever. Comments, questions,
I'll
whatever
make
you
a
like.
comment. Yeah, so I've gone over this case, definitely don't feel that it is made the case for the hardship to allow the variance. I think in the last instance, we had one like this. We allowed it to go through first read and then made sure all the trustees had chances to ask any questions of staff about this particular item. So I will be probably voting no on this one in 2 weeks. But for right now, I think we can let it go through the first read.
I agree, Mike. I think that regardless of where you're at, the Plan Commission voted it down due to the hardship. And so I would ask everyone from now until August 3rd, like last time, again, if you has a chance to watch the Plan Commission meeting, I suggest you do so. It was held on June 16, 2022, and contact Kimberly if you have any questions, and if you need to go further, contact the village attorney if you need him to answer anything as well. Kimberly, do you want to just give a short, brief description?
Sure. You know, we have this throughout our community. We have older properties that have existing fences from a time when the codes were different. And so, you know, new homeowners come in and would like to replace what they have, but the codes have changed. So that's why the variation process is there. This code was recently changed. And so we have vetted this and are now seeing a few cases come forward, but again, it's a corner lot. We see this a lot with the fences and wanting to maximize the yard space, but there are some uniquenesses to them, so therefore we look at them and regulate them differently. And this is one of those just scenarios, new homeowner, you know, learning, unfortunately, the codes this way, but we're, you know, seeing that this is consistent with some of the other variations that have come our way, so.
Thank you. Ms. Mark, are you here? Would you like to come up and just talk to the board on what your thoughts are and everything?
Yeah, so
I've property owner since 2019, just trying to replace the existing fence, as she had said. Some of my hardships were, which apparently don't qualify as hardship, just, we have 4 children. And we use the background space, the backyard space. It's just gonna cut our yard pretty much in half with where the 40 foot back from the property line. It's 16 foot from the curb where it's at on the property line, and then it would be another 23 to the side of the house. There are no objections from my neighbors, my immediate neighbors. We had some of them come to the community development hearing. Yeah, we really just want to make it look nice and replace the existing, having an open style fence. There's a lot of traffic on 173rd, and the cars go fast down there, and we'd hate to see it lose some of our yard, and it's just not a safety thing for me. So I please ask you to appeal and consider. I think it's just an improvement for my area, our block, and appreciate your consideration.
Sure, Mark, is that a 4-foot fence you currently have?
It's a 5 foot. I'm just trying to replace exactly as it is. I believe it's 5 foot, but it's you know, it does dip. The pickets do dip. But
Is there anything for the board to consider that you would that would work with you, that you would like to ask them to consider as an alternative?
What doesn't work is the idea of a 2 foot fence there with our dog. We've considered that.
I'm talking in regards to the 40 feet. What would you, is there anything in particular that would?
We have a bay window that faces to the south. So if we took it to the house, losing that 23 feet, because the 40 feet brings it back into the middle of the back of the house, just the way the house is constructed. But we would, so the bay window, which is our bedroom, which faces, there's a bus stop, a few things on that corner, we would like to insulate and at least have some protection with the fence around the bay. So it's like I said, it's 23 foot to the property line, even if the other issue is it cuts into a lot of landscaping that's been done over the last few decades. A lot of money has been put into the back of it. That's one of the biggest appeals for the house for us. So it does kind of carve that out for us too. But if there was any consideration for somewhere in between, a 4 foot fence, like I said, it's open style. Any considerations, we'd hate to lose what we have there as it is.
So I think everyone, so you'd be willing to look at a 4 foot fence compared to 5 to keep it that distance?
Absolutely.
I think what I suggest is Trustee Mueller, you work with Kimberly.
Yep.
And, maybe you guys send something out to the board, and if you have any questions, contact Kimberly, and just make sure you please CC the village manager and Trustee Mueller, and, you guys work through it. We have until August 3rd, so, and then Kimberly can be in contact with you as well if she has any questions.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, there
No
was
problem.
a lot of dialogue back and forth just about the way that it's written in and a lot of the community development individuals were just thinking that it had to be reconsidered as it was. Just, it didn't make sense for some of, the cases that were coming up recently. So, and I think ours is certainly one of them. So I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had a question too. So the last time the fence, you could, it's about you, but, sorry. So the last issue that came up on the Hanover House with their fence, it was because it was a privacy fence. Was that, or is it?
It was the distance as well, so.
Okay, so
yeah.
it's distance and private, because he's asking for an open style,
Right.
but it's still the same rule applies with the
Yeah.
distance.
He's asking for 16 feet off the curb, correct?
Mhm, okay.
And we want them, according to the code, to be 40 off the curb. So again, I ask everyone to, it's only first read, I ask everyone to please vote to let this proceed, and it gives everyone until August 3rd to talk it over with staff and the homeowner to see if there's a way to find something that works for everyone, where his family still feels like it was, it works for them and everyone can live with it.
Perfect.
So, thank you, Mike. If you could work on that, that'd be great.
Yep.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments from the public?
No, I just, I'll ask Kimberly, because I had the same question as Colleen about the privacy style. And I just would like to, this week, just to review the current code and the reasoning behind it. I don't want to, ask you right now, but I know this has come to us quite a bit in the last two, 3 months, so. But I'll make sure to brush up on that plan commission too.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Colleen, the problem is, the code was put in a reason to keep uniformity and keep a certain look. Yes, everyone wants more, When I built my shed, I built it 192 square feet. The max is 200, could ask for more probably, but it's just yes, everyone wants more, and it's our job to watch the plan commission meetings and watch and listen to the commissioners as they vet this out. They vet it out a lot more than we do. They really dig deep into this with Kimberly and her staff. So it's kind of hard because you have so many different ages of different subdivisions. You can't start making codes for, okay, well, Radcliffe is one, Parkside is another. It's just very difficult, and it's kind of like a general code, and if a particular house meets that, which you guys voted on at the one at Humber, then they can get but you have to have a baseline and then go from there. So.
Mine's just an issue of, what they have there. It's almost like, I think it should be grandfathered in, but I know that's not how it works. But that's just what, people who have a fence already there, let them do it. Moving forward, people who want new fences, then you go by the code. But I know that's not the way that it's written, so.
I guess my main concern would be, is it line of sight? Is that what the code is trying to negate?
Aesthetics, line of sight, but the other thing is this inherently happens when you start enclosing your fence. Other structures start going into that secondary yard. Structures, which we also regulate, pools, sheds, aren't allowed to be in a secondary front yard. When you're a corner lot, you're a different lot from an interior lot. That's naturally what happens. As this previous resident, you can see, started extending their landscaping. We couldn't find record of a permit ever being issued for the fence. So we don't know if it even complied when it was constructed, but that's the other reason corner lots are looked at differently. And in this particular issue, you have a neighbor his rear lot is rearing up to someone's front yard. So now you you start seeing structures going into the primary yard where now someone's front yard is looking into someone's backyard. So that's another reason why a fence establishes that cutoff a little bit of here's how far you can go and what structures are allowed in that primary or secondary front yard. And when they're rear to rear, it's not as much of an issue, but in this instance, you've got someone's front yard, and we don't know future owners and down the road.
Right.
Imagine your front yard, you're looking at someone's garage or, something like that.
It's a driveway, right? It's a driveway.
It is. Yeah. So this doesn't have a sidewalk, which naturally also helps establish kind of where that right-of-way line is for people. So it has a nice kind of open space feel, but that's kind of and at the end of the day too, every community looks at it differently, but that's another reason.
Okay. Thank you, Kimberly.
Just a few additional points. You speak to the uniformity. My neighbor immediately across the street has a fence that goes to his property line. It's a chain link. So it does fit uniformly on that corner, and other properties do. There's some that go to the property line that are complete privacy fence, just not even a half a block down.
So that's our concern. If a variation is granted for this one, it'll be very, very difficult in an immediate area to deny the same individuals in the neighborhood.
Right.
Because, again, those were put in a long time ago. Codes were different then. So that's another thing we're sensitive about. You start that ripple effect, and then at that point, then what's the point of the code? Then you gotta just decide, okay,
Right.
we prefer to have few variations and have a code that works, but it's impossible to have everything work perfectly.
Yeah, and my neighbor to the east, who has the driveway that's on the interior lot, is in favor of it. He doesn't think his property would look right as that is, and he was there to testify as such. The other thing that's unique to my property, I think, is there's no sidewalks. So in that 16-foot space, just from the curb to, there's no pedestrian traffic. That's just one I wanted to add.
Thanks, Mark.
Property owners can
Yeah.
change, so,
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Right. Very good.
Like I said, gives everyone time, everyone go through it, ask questions, and see if you can find something that That works for everyone.
Very good.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
I made a motion.
Motion was made. Trustee Galante?
Thank you.
Yes. Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Item 16, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-056, granting International Foundations Education, Inc., a special use permit for a day or child care center at 7012 171st Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The special use permit will allow the petitioner, Mrs. Simpson, to continue to operate a day or child care center in the B3 zoning district. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on July 7, 2022, voted 7-0 to recommend approval of the special use with recommended conditions in accordance with the plans as listed in the listed of reviewed plans and findings of fact in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption today.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante? Yes. Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 17, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-057, granting a special use for a substantial deviation for additional signage and a building light bar from the North Creek Planned Unit Development at 18320 North Creek Drive for Holiday Inn.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner seeks approval of an additional wall sign located at the building's canopy and a building light bar for the recently constructed Holiday Inn Hotel. Plan Commission held a public hearing on July 7, 2022, and voted 7-0 to recommend approval of the special use in accordance with the plans as listed and findings of fact in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight as well.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
The motion carries. Item number 18, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-046, approving a text amendment to the Village of Tinley Park zoning ordinance defining and pertaining to extended stay hotels at a certain zoning districts. In certain zoning districts.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Colleen. Go ahead, Mike.
The proposed text amendment defines and regulates extended stay hotels. Extended stay hotels are proposed to require special use permit approval in all zoning districts that currently permit hotels. The additional review will ensure extended stay hotels are properly located and operated in a safe and effective manner. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on June 2nd, 2022, voted 5-0 to recommend the proposed text amendments for approval to the village board. The village board reviewed the text amendments at the first reading on the June 21st meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 19. We'd like to ask the board to consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-053, amending residency requirements for commission and committee members.
So moved.
I'll second it. Oh,
Thank-
sorry, Dennis.
Thank you. The proposed amendment allows for the membership of Tinley Park business owners who are non-residents, provided that a majority of a given commission or committee members are residents of the village. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole held prior to this meeting. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public?
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to make the same comment I made at the earlier meeting. I believe it's extremely important to keep the decision-making with the citizens in Tinley Park. Of course, our businesses have a huge part of our community, but I believe the decision-making should be retained with the citizen.
Thank you. And again, I'll repeat what I said at the cow. Like Trustee Mueller clearly pointed out, the way this is written by the village attorneys, it is a majority of board members are on the board. So they will be the controlling members of any commission or committee, not business owners. So they are just, you know, they produce a lot of revenue for the village, and it's an opportunity for them to be on a commission or a committee and just give a voice. That they're not a majority, they're the minority. Any comments from the board? Bill, I think you had something from the cow, if you want to echo it again at the board meeting?
I'd just say, I think it's important that we, you know, we're inclusive to our business owners, and, you know, like I said earlier, I think that, most of our committees and commissions are recommending bodies to the board, you know, which brings, any decision comes to us as elected officials, so, and we are all obviously residents and elected by the people to make those decisions, so, that was my only comment from earlier.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, they're not the decision makers, they're the recommending.
I'd have to agree with trustee Bill. The idea to have a business owner give some insight as a business owner on his likes or dislikes to help another business possibly.
Right.
So their insight would be very good.
Especially, it's a big financial commitment too, as well. And usually they're securing loans on their personally. So, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and they'll be held to the same standards in terms of conflict of interest, which I brought up at the cow as well. So, I see no downsides and a lot of good input that we can provide from these business owners, so.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
No.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries 5-1 with one no vote from trustee Galante. Item number 20, Clerk O'Connor.
Consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-078, amending the authorization of the executive session written minutes and verbatim audio recording review policy for the Board of Trustees.
Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you, guys. Go ahead, Nance.
This resolution amends Resolution 2020-R-109, providing more clarity and uniformity to the policy for the steps to be taken by the Board of Trustees to request review of written minutes and verbatim audio recordings of executive session meetings. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole held prior to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Clerk O'Connor. Any comments from the board? Oh, any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item 21. I would like the board to consider approving an engagement letter with Griffin, Williams, McMahon, and Walsh LLP, GWMW LLP for legal services.
I'll make the motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. The approval of the Griffin, Williams, McMahon, and Walsh LLP engagement letter would authorize the Village of Tinley Park to utilize their services as required. Consider appointing Griffin, Williams, McMahon, and Walsh LLP for legal services. Pat, you said you wanted to say something?
Sure, yeah, this is a cleanup of a typo that was done on the June 6th board meeting, I believe it was. And
Seventh.
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 It was a cut and paste mistake, same attorney, just a different law firm. And we noticed it the next day, and we were gonna put it on the next board meeting, I believe on the 21st, but it was pretty loaded up on the agenda, so we opted to just move it to here, to just clean it up. Same person though, just was a typo on the minutes.
Thanks. Anything you want to add? Go ahead, Diane.
So,
Go ahead, Diane.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, Diane.
okay, so I want to clarify. So on June 7th, agenda item 25, I questioned the board because of this confusion. There was two different names. There was one on your agenda, one on what you're making a motion. I asked the board to review it, and I ended up voting no. The mayor, and anybody who wants to go back and look, he likes to give the times out to look at, it was at 50.19 of the meeting, and it went on for 7 minutes, as he belittled me and told me that I was confused. why I was bringing this up. I was confused. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't read my packet. Thank you. Let's see, it was a lot of misstatements were being made about me because I was trying to correct this issue. Again, I'm going to question the appointment of somebody that is calling me at home to have me change my affidavits, which I firmly stand behind as the truth. So I will be voting no. And I wish you would review what you said to me at that meeting and maybe reconsider how belittling it was to me. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Diane. And unfortunately, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna state that, it was correct. It was, when it was brought to my attention, I looked back, they're both legal entities. Mr. Walsh, was transitioning, and I think he's not done with the transition, so there was nothing incorrect about our board action. But, because it was, raised, I thought it was best to bring it back, so we have a clean record of what was done. There was nothing improper. We didn't have to bring it back, so I brought it back out of an abundance of caution after it was brought to my attention, just so we all know what we're doing here. So, I don't think it was clear to me that night what Trustee Galante was trying to say. I now figured it out after staff brought it to my attention. Again, there was nothing improper what we did. It's just a matter of out of abundance of caution to clean it up.
Thank you, which, for the record, was brought to you on June 8th after the board meeting the next day, when you were here on
And then
Wednesday.
I went back, I analyzed what happened, looked at, the entities, so forth and so on. I asked it to be brought back on the 5th. Was unable to be brought back because we didn't have that meeting, so it's here tonight. Thank you.
So, thank you. And then I just want to add, unfortunately, Diane is not being truthful again. There are several emails. I have sent them to her. There is email after email with staff, village manager. She doesn't know. There was an ethics complaint filed against her where she was found guilty.
Point of order.
And she kept.
Point of order.
On what basis?
What does this have to do with this meeting today that you're talking about again?
It's regarding Walsh, so it's denied. So in regards to the ethics complaint, there was another attorney called Patrick Walsh, who she kept emailing the village manager and possibly the village attorney and the ethics attorney, stating that he can't be doing this. There's a conflict of interest. He's our special counsel. Now he's doing ethics complaints. And it was said email after email. There's probably 3 or 4 emails letting Diane know that she is confused. It's not the same Patrick Walsh's. And for the record, you can go back at whatever minute and second that you listed, Diane. Not one person in this room had any idea what you were talking about because you never mentioned the law firm that he worked for. So unfortunately, that's just not the case. Anyone else from the board? Madam Clerk, or any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
No.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries 5-1 with 1 no vote from trustee Diane Galante. Item number 22. I would like to ask the board for a motion to table this.
Postpone? Postpone?
Table it?
Motion to table this one.
Table this one?
Yeah, we're not. we don't-
Can I have a motion to table, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Questions from the public? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item 23, receive comments from the staff. Pat?
Yeah, I just want to commend the staff on the hard work and extensive planning that we did this past weekend. This was the busiest event weekend in the history of Tinley Park. Not only did we have 3 concerts over the weekend, shredding event, but we had our 2-day block party. This was over 6 months in planning with a lot of agencies, not just our own, with the state, with the county. And in light of what happened in Highland Park, all of our public safety agencies rose to the occasion.
occasion to make sure they kept all the residents safe during this event. So again, just want to commend the staff on such a great job that they did.
Thank you. Chief Klotz?
Nothing.
David? Chief Walsh?
I agree with that. It was a great event. It was uneventful. We had minimal incidents. It was really well run. And just again, we talked about National Night Out. It'll be August 2nd. Please come out. It's a great event.
Thanks, Chief. Mr. Urbanski? Donna Framke?
I would just like to express my sincere gratitude to everybody who made this weekend's event a success. I mean, definitely from our sponsors, our vendors, especially all of my fellow village staffers, including Public Works and Police Department, EMA, of course, our marketing team. Definitely, it was a great collaborative event. I also want to thank you, Mayor, because at this time last year, you had the vision to do a two-day event. I may have, bitten my nails once or twice after we talked about that, but by all accounts, this was truly the most successful event. I've been doing this is my 24th block party. Sans the 1 year we were off for the COVID, but it was by all accounts. Our businesses, our vendors are absolutely thrilled. We had a very large crowd, no issues, and it was absolutely great. It really put us on the map with a lot of people, and truly very happy. So, thank you.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. Kimberly?
I just want to tell everyone to please patronize our newest restaurant, Hillgrove Tap at 9501 171st Street. They are open for business. Please take a look. They've done a great job renovating the facility, and would love for everyone to go and have a nice meal and have some friends over there. So.
Thank you. Deputy Clerk? Next, we have item number 24, receive comments from the board. Anyone from the board care to comment?
I would like to echo the comments that were already made concerning our weekend. It was just fabulous, and whoever was in charge of the weather, nice job. Okay. Is that you?
It was Urbanski.
Oh, okay. Well, nice job, John. But it was just fabulous. Everything that was said is so true. And the shredding event that was done by both the Orland Township and the village was very successful. I think we had almost 200 cars there that took advantage of only 5 boxes, but nevertheless, we took them. And it was a great event. Everybody loved it. We were so happy to do it.
Thank you. Anyone else from the board?
Yeah, I'll just say that, the teamwork this weekend was amazing. I thought, to see all those smiling faces, I thought everyone did a fantastic job. Public Works, police, fire, EMA, marketing, everyone, just fantastic job. It was one of the most memorable events for myself as well, so well done to everyone.
Thank you. I'll just add, thank you, Donna, for the kind words. We were nervous at how it would work. I think it was August or October we discussed that. Luckily, it went well. All the vendors said they had record sales the first day. They made more in the first day than they've ever made. Want to thank all the attendees, because without them attending, we wouldn't have had this successful block party. Obviously, our marketing department, who put all this together, along with our Public Works, our first responders. Deputy Chief Tilton was helping with blocking us all in, and Chief, whoever was responsible for getting those the yellow, the ballards that you guys installed all through the whole event so no one could get in there. Those were amazing. I never felt safer. You guys did a great job. I appreciate all the hard work you guys did, because without you, we wouldn't have had the successful day that we did. And thanks to John Urbanski for keeping the weather away. On another note, the announcements, thanks to all the board that took time out of their schedules to come and make announcements, to introduce our bands, so that staff, when we don't make announcements, unfortunately, it puts that burden on the marketing department, who's there trying to work, so then between working, they have to jump on the stage. So thanks for everyone that showed up to make announcements. Great job. Also, again, Donna and her team for bringing Miles Boykin in. I thought that was very successful. Such a kind man, and the kids loved it. They were lining up to get his autograph, so that was great. So thank you, Donna, for lining that up. Also like to put a special thank you out to Mike Coleman, our building official. The amount of labor-intensive work that he is doing with all his inspections and keeping his normal job going along with Loyola. I think you told me today he's done over 50 inspections or something already. Without his due diligence, I truly feel that that project would be behind schedule if it wasn't for Mike Coleman. So please express gratefulness to him as well. Our village attorneys, if you look at the lawsuits and that this village has had since we've been on this board, since I've been on since Bill Brady, since 2017. The lawsuits were extensive and massive, and our village attorneys have, from their work and making sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. We have one of our special attorneys in here, Dominic from PJM, who is one of those key components of all that. So thank you, Dominic, for all the work you've done. If you look, the scale is going down and the costs are going down. It's not usual. Usually attorneys want those costs to go up, but as far as on this end with PJM, their goal is to keep them down and to keep them tracking down. So thank you for that, Paul. Thank you, Dominic. Appreciate all the work you guys have done. So please express our thankfulness to the rest of your team. And last but not least.
Hold on, Mike, before you do that, because I think I know where you're going with this. I just want to also extend, the bands were fabulous. People just raved about it. You could see with having the street open for all the chairs that came and everything else, that people just were up dancing, singing along. The bands were 100%. And I can hardly wait for now, you guys can start working on 25th anniversary of our Caribbean party. You have another thing to go. Thank you, Mike. Sorry.
Anytime. And then last, I want to thank, I don't know if any who's seen it or not. Unfortunately, my wife ended up on the front, her photo ended up on the patch for the event. Unfortunately, she was choking, couldn't breathe. Our family thanks Sergeant Butler. He literally saved her life. So thank you for his quick reaction to that. We will be forever grateful to him.
Mayor?
Yes.
In regard to, I actually authorized him, he can now wear his cup shirt again.
I don't know if we want to go that far.
Hey, careful.
But anywho, thank you to everyone that was there to go back to that concert. And if it wasn't for Sergeant Butler just popping out of nowhere and just basically pushing everyone out of the way to get there and give her the Heimlich. And it first, I want to thank Trustee Sullivan, who tried, but her like.
Don't choke around me. I could not do the Heimlich.
Unless you're a short person.
Her 5-foot frame,
Little arms.
she tried, it was like a little squeaker toy. But thank you, Colleen. I appreciate it, so thank you very much. With that being said, we'll move on to item 25, unless anyone else has any comments. Next, we have item 25, receive comments from the public. Anyone from the public care to speak? Can you hold on 1 second, please? Okay. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Duffy Phelps, and I am Vice President of Hospitality for Holiday Properties. Holiday is the owner and operator of the Woodspring Suites Hotel in Tinley Park, which we built in 2016 and have operated since. I'm here tonight, first and foremost, to apologize for a letter sent last week that was addressed to the body that is sitting in front of me. The tone of the letter was unacceptable and a terrible representation of both myself and the company I work for, Holiday Properties. I am deeply embarrassed that it made it to your desks. And the unfortunate outcome of the letter, beyond the embarrassment to me, is that the tone drowned out the real message that our ownership and management groups wish to convey. As Mayor Glotz mentioned, in a response to me, the letter set a standoffish stance that was completely counterproductive to what we had hoped to accomplish, which is to work with the leaders of the village to address their concerns and bring to light the numerous nuances of operating a hotel, and in particular, extended stay hotels. The truth is that we want to be good stewards to the village of Tinley Park and would like nothing more than to work with village staff and law enforcement to understand your initiatives and work as a group to improve the hotel ordinance while protecting existing and future hotel businesses. As a little bit of a background, in March of this year, we did have a meeting with members of the village staff and law enforcement. I believed it to be cordial and productive, and we were collaborating to discuss the operations of our hotel and others. We left the meeting feeling appreciated and looking forward to further, more in-depth dialogue. We spent time internally thinking about what we could do better and anticipating how we could help. When we saw the text of the ordinance recommended by the Plan Commission, we were disappointed because we've never had the opportunity to share our ideas, which we thought were meaningful. We believe that the ordinance, as currently suggested, can be improved to better align with the goals of what the village wants to accomplish. And part of our suggestion is a three-pronged plan to ensure that hotels are run safely and transparently. The first step of the plan is better monitoring of guests and their reasoning for staying in the area. This would include a register of all guests that includes pertinent information on their rationale for being at the hotel. It would also include their check-in date and approximate length of stay based on their work, family, medical, or personal circumstance. The registry would include personal information along with vehicle registration. All guests of rooms, whether the primary registrant or additional guests, would need to be included in the registry. This would allow us to monitor check-ins and appropriately screen guests while also being able to provide the village with an up-to-date registry of who's in town at any given time. The second part of the plan is a structured community outreach plan that will help, with the help of law enforcement, would better train and empower employees to monitor, report, and handle safety issues. This will empower employees to be better equipped to screen problem guests and notify appropriate authorities before something escalates. Employees are the lifeline of a hotel asset, and having them involved in the process and engaged with authorities would provide many mutual benefits. As owners of hotels of all types in many markets, labor and attracting good employees has been a big issue, among other problems, over the past 2 years. We found that the best way to retain employees is to pay them well, train them well, and empower them. Affording them the opportunity to increase their skill set and confidence at the job by attending training seminars would be a powerful tool. The third prong of our plan, or at least the beginning of it, is one that actually is addressed in the ordinance as written, but it would be to heighten security in and around properties. Hotels would work with Tinley authorities to develop a plan that includes best-in-practice security systems, better parking lot screening, more cameras, and more stringent door alarms and locking systems are a few of many things that we think could be included. Each of these ideas can be expanded upon if given subsequent time, but we truly believe that it could lead to a meaningful system that would ensure hotels are operating safely and attracting problem-free guests. We believe that there is an opportunity to develop a plan that is a beacon for how other communities approach the hotels in their community. Holiday Properties owns real estate throughout the United States, and we are proud to have maintained strong relationships with the communities we are in. We have let our relationship with Tinley Park slip, but we are motivated to turn it around. We want to prove to the community that we do care and hope that you allow us to engage in a meaningful dialogue to do so. I thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. I'll just say, you know, I think we addressed most of those concerns. I mean, registries are things that you don't need a policy to do. Those are things you should be doing as a good operator and keeping track of your guests and who's coming in and how long they're being there. I think that's the village's job to tell you how to do your job. What we're doing here is we're taking the step of addressing issues that we saw that we were unable to address, and we think this accomplishes that. Number one, in your case, may even help you because it makes it a special use, so maybe less extended stays, which would be beneficial to the only extended stay if that's the way it pans out. But also, you know, the things that we put in here are us reacting to problems that we see in the community, right? And I'm not singling you out or not, right? What I'm saying is the things that are here are well thought out. We looked at it, we discussed it, it was vetted at the Planning Commission, it was vetted with the Community Development Department, it was vetted within our legal team, with other attorneys and other people we consulted with. We looked to the industry standards. So we think it accomplishes all that. As far as you're working with the community and outreach, it's something you can do. You don't need an ordinance for that. Those are things you can do. So you can accomplish all those things without this ordinance.
And I appreciate that. We, I think, have tried to have a good outreach program with the community, but we think it could be something that could be even more structured. And with regard to the ordinance, right now, as it's written, there would be 33 people who would, right now, who are in the area working on construction projects. Steve Laird is with me from Holiday. He's the director of hotel operations, and there are, and you can correct me, Steve, but there's at least 33 people who would not be able to provide a letter or anything from the company they are working for, that would be forced to at least move out for 2 days and then come back. And finding...
So their company won't provide them with a letter that they're here working on a project?
I can correct the record on the statement. It's 33 guests that, as the ordinance is written currently, we would have to ask to leave. However, perhaps we can get some of them, but there's certainly no guarantee.
Well, this just puts you on notice, and we're not gonna come out and police it, but if there's problems there, and these 33 guests, or one of these 30 guests falls into the problem category, this gives us a mechanism to address it. You have now notice to go get those letters. I don't think that's a hard of accomplishment. We thought of FEMA, we thought about long-term contractors. We're not trying to hurt your business model, but we need protections in place to protect the village, to give law enforcement tools that we need, that we see. So the 33 that are now, they should go get letters. And people are coming in the future, you know who's coming in that's gonna stay more than 30 days. You probably have some great contract with them or whatever they're gonna do. We don't believe that's the case.
And there are mechanisms in there actually that
Right.
address some of your concerns that you sent in that letter. Actually, if you reread it, there are some of your concerns are all in there.
With that all said, if you want to sit down and have a meeting and talk about it, I'm happy to sit down and talk to you about it, and if you think there's a way to improve on it, but the burden's gonna be on you.
He's here the first and third Wednesday of every month.
Okay, well, we'd appreciate that.
Yep,
And
not a problem.
Thank you for hearing me
Yep, no
tonight.
problem.
and-
Except maybe for the August 3rd, but since the meeting's August 3rd, you might be here on Thursday. So outside of August 3rd, which I don't know if they've determined yet, he's here on the first and third
You
Wednesday.
can, he's,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else care to, thank you. Anyone else care to address the board? I just want to add, I forgot to ask the board, we have a September 6th meeting, which Labor Day holiday weekend. Labor Day is the day before. Would you guys like to cancel the board meeting after Labor Day, since I'm assuming some staffs take longer weekends, and you have people that won't be here? Would you guys be okay with canceling the September 6th meeting?
Resounding yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Good. So you don't need any action? That's good enough?
I'll work with the clerk's office if we need to post a notice that we're canceling, but I think we have direction from the board.
Perfect.
If we need to bring something back, we will.
Thank you. Next, we have item 26. I would like to ask the board to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following. A, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. It's a lot of bodies. B, litigation, when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. C, discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06. the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. And lastly, E, the setting of a price for the sale or lease of property owned by the public body.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? No? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned at 8:16 PM, and we will not be returning, so thank you.